Hey guys, what you're looking at is a scene out of I'll just show it to you. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. The Fiery Depths is awesome. If you like a lava style video game parts, this is what you want to check out. This is super cool. I subscribe to Angry Joe, and he's got to be the funniest review guy I've ever seen of videos, and often he's quite spot on with his reviews. In my rough opinion, hilarious guy, adult language. But if you want to see some very funny video game reviews, go check out Angry Joe. Long story short, though, I want to do a quick how-to video. I'm trying to knock out some eBay orders before I go to work. So I'm going to show you guys how to do floor plates. One of the things I want to do after I do my Zulu army and my British army is I really, really want to do like an Aztec steampunk style themed army, because Aztecs are just cool. Anybody that does like mass blood sacrifices on huge ziggurats, man, it doesn't get more cinematic than that. So I'm kind of doing my own thing. This is the only plates I could find real quick, but there's another style of plate. So I went and I cut it out. Let me show it to you. This is just hand drawn. It's nothing special. What you're seeing here is a 2-inch thick piece by probably about an inch. And then I got on my scroll saw and I drew a design. Well, I drew a design. Then I went on my scroll saw and I cut it out. Now, instead of removing that piece, I'm going to do a different style of technique, because I want to use both the positive and the negative. Now, the positive or negative is entirely up to you. It could be the inside piece or it could be the outside piece. So I'm going to just set up the saw. It's really noisy, but it won't take very long at all. And I just want to show you the results. They're really, really cool. Let me check and see if you guys can see the saw. Okay, you can see the saw. Alright, once again, read all safety instructions. Number one rule, if anything unexpected happens, the hands fly away from the saw blade. Always away, okay? If you want to develop a flinch reaction, that's the flinch reaction that you want to have. So, what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do a little safety thing here real quick. I'm going to show you how to make a safety piece. It'll work for most of it. What I'm doing is I'm making something to replace my hand. Okay? So I'm going to take this little piece here. I'm going to cut that section out and it's going to stick right on there, okay? So I'm going over my scroll saw. I think with that angle you can still see the scroll saw. Same thing with the scroll saw. You want to follow all safety directions first. I'm going to cut that point out just to make it a little more easy. Another just good general rule, and I didn't follow it over there. Whenever you move around a saw, you want to move super, super slow, okay? It's easy to get fired up and excited and then not pay attention. The next thing you know, you're lopping a finger off. Don't want, or a tip of a finger or whatever. Don't want to do that. So I'm going to set the blade width, and I'm going to give it a little more meat, and then we're going to knock these out and see what they look like. Okay? And if it's a bit too thin, actually that's about perfect. I'm going to give it a little more. I was cutting some masonite, so it kind of dulled it out a bit, so it's pretty noisy. There's one. Oh, the other thing, take a little something, put it on the back side of your saw so you don't have to worry about trying to grab it as it falls off. Just let it fall off. Okay? And you don't have to worry about perfect 90s. As you isn't even close to a perfect 90. I got a little more weight on the back. The saw blade tends to knock off a little back edge all the time. If it really bothers you, you can do a cut and try and keep it flush. But the pieces are so thin it doesn't really matter, in my opinion. So this is just knocking stuff off here. Okay, this will be dangerous. You gotta move by the saw, move towards the back of the blade. Never towards the front. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, I'm actually, something else, I'm actually cutting off the holder. That's totally fine, because that's replacing my finger, and I don't want my finger to be there. Okay? There you go. Probably got one more cut. Yeah, screw it. This is plenty. So, what do we got here? What do we got? I'm going to throw these down. Just bear with me for a couple of seconds, and I'll show you what cool floors. Now this can be anything. You can use X's and make like 40K floors, reinforced stuff and all that. It can be any. It can be this could also be Necrons, but Necrons tend to work with a lot of circles and stuff. And since I just got done watching this walkthrough not too long ago, and it's reignited my my desire to make an Aztec army, because I just think that would just be so cool. You'd have the Zulus with their ultra cool dinosaurs. You could have the Aztecs. I want to have them kind of working with huge stone golems. I'm going to use like tiki dolls. Find out that the iconography for Tiki, Pacific, is actually pretty doggone close to, well, they are on the, the Rim of Fire, so I can totally understand where that would come from. And the more we learn about ancient man, the more we learn that ancient man got around a heck of a lot more than we thought they did. They totally found out that Columbus was not the guy who was here first, and I found out that to be rather interesting. So as we get along in time, we find out new things about ancient man. So here we go. Woo! Pardon me. Getting everybody airsick there. But these are just, now these are double plates. So I mean, it's always try and do twice the work in half the time if you've got the tools to help you do it. Now this can also work well with hot wire foam tools. Check out my buddy Carlos, Monte Carlo at Let's Cut Foam. He's the one with the ultra pretty baby girl there. I keep in my work area. I'm not a parent, so I gotta live through all you guys parents. So let's take a look and see what we can build up, just real quick pattern wise. And my suggestion would be use them in different parts of the dungeon. You know what I'm saying? So you can build these out. You can make really cool decks. You can make really cool, anything. Now, you're going to probably say, how do you glue these things? Because this is ultra thin. What I typically do, I've used two techniques and both have worked. The first one is hot glue gun. Someone was asking about my hot glue gun. Oh, it wasn't Aztec, it was add here. It's not plugged in, don't ever do that. Always check and see if it's plugged in. But it's 2 temp, Aztec, it's an older style Got the lightsaber cutting my arms off at the wrists here. It's good. It's got a little bit of a fat tip that I don't like. The one thing though that I will point out is this, and I'm not even necessarily following this. Oh, I guess I did. I guess I instinctively did. You want to follow your pattern. And by that I mean if the centerpiece is pointing in, you probably want to have the centerpiece pointing in the whole time as you do this. I mean, and you can do cool things. They've got like decks that you jump from, you know, deck to deck, and this would be an example of like two different style decks. So if you look at the center of it, you see how it's kind of the openings pointing in, openings pointing in, openings pointing in, openings pointing in. That's what you want to do. What you don't want to do is that. Now, will people notice that? Probably not. When you get enough of these things down, the patterns tend to disappear into like an overall group pattern, and that is my wife. So that is your how-to for the day. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye-bye.